Welcome back, Brush Monkeys. Today we're going to, I got some parts for my airbrush that I wanted to make it a little more spiffy, a little easier to use. Obviously, this stem being very small and the trigger being kind of low is kind of difficult for my big hands to handle. So I've got a high roller trigger, I've got a finger rest to go in here, and so I'm going to install all that, but I also wanted to go over how to strip a airbrush for cleaning. So I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to put all the parts in my ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll come back and install the new bits that I've got for it. Okay? So first, we're going to unscrew this part in the back here. Okay, we just unscrew that, slide it off, and we're going to loosen this little nut here. This holds the needle in, so we'll just slide the needle right out. Now the needle holds the trigger in, so we're very carefully going to take that out because that also holds this under tension, and that is held in by this thing. Okay, so we'll undo that nut. Unscrew this part, this little thumb dial right here. Okay, take that off, and you can see now we can get this little spring out. Now if we pull this part out, this kind of takes a little bit more effort, and sometimes you need a pair of pliers. Just a little pair of pliers, and it doesn't need to be real tight, but just a quick twist like that. And you'll see that this piece is actually set in there pretty deep. Like that. Okay. Now this is the part that messes me up every time I put this thing together. Is you've got this part that goes in there, and it's kind of semicircular shaped, and it's got the semicircular shaped hole there. Every time I put this together, I almost always put it together wrong. So it needs to go in this way. Just keep that in mind. And then you've got the little trigger rocker there. And at the bottom, you've got your, again, probably need a little convincing with a pair of pliers. I might actually need to get a real pair of pliers for that one. Sit tight. Alright. When in doubt, use a tool. Take that. That's just the quick change adapter to pick off there. And then off the front, take that little portion off. Right. And again, you're probably going to need pliers for this. Again, real gently, just be real gentle taking that off and putting it on. Now this is the part you need to be careful with Badger airbrushes, is this little nozzle here is not actually screwed in at all on Badgers. It is literally just set into the neck there. And you can see that gets pretty dirty up in there, and that can clog up your airbrush. And that's pretty dirty up in there, and that's why we're cleaning it. But that's really all the user serviceable parts. That's all you need to take off of it. Now we've got it all laid out like this, right? Now, here is the tray for my ultrasonic cleaner. And as you can see, a lot of these parts are way too small to actually fit on here without falling through. See, some of them will fall right through those little parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the larger parts, like that, and put those in the ultrasonic cleaner. Then, for the tiny parts, what I've got is this little doohickey. And all this is a mesh cup that you can find in the houseware section of Walmart. And it's for, you put it over your drain, your kitchen drain, and it keeps food and junk from getting into your kitchen drain. But it's also just perfect for all these little parts that will fall through the regular screen. So put all those in there. Put that in there like that. We'll put that in the ultrasonic cleaner and we'll come back in a little bit and put them all together. Okay? Alright, so all the parts are clean and it's all ready to be put back together. While I'm doing that, normally I would coat the threads of the air input and the threads around the top up here with thread tape, which is what plumbers use. It looks like this, and it comes in a little package like this. This is decent stuff, and it has worked for a long time for me. The problem is this stuff starts to deteriorate. You start getting little leaks in your airbrush, and it can be kind of a problem. Plus, it's gunky when you go to clean it off. You've got threads of this stuff all over the place, and it's nasty stuff. So I'm not using that anymore. I read a tip online that said to use chapstick, just plain old chapstick, a little waxy. I use the classic original, no flavor. Put this on your threads, put this around your nozzle before you put it back in, and all that kind of thing, and it seals up the threads just fine. Okay. We're also going to be putting a little bit of this super lube on the needle before we put that in, and that'll grease the whole path of the needle and all the subsequent seals that it goes through in its path. I'm not going to sit here and assemble this whole thing right in front of you, so but I'm also installing this finger rest, a high roller trigger, and got a new safety cap for it. So I'm going to put on all my spiffy new stuff and reassemble this, and I'll show you what the finished airbrush looks like when I'm done. Alright? Alright, so now I've got everything reassembled. I've got the little finger rest installed on the bottom of my Badger. I've got my high roller trigger installed. And as you can see, the entire assembly fits my hand quite a bit better than it did, and makes for a lot more comfortable workings on the airbrush there. And I've also installed, I already had the finger rest on the Sotar, but I installed the high roller trigger, and the piece that I had originally lost was the little nozzle, the fine point nozzle. That's what I originally ordered, and then all the rest of the stuff got tacked onto the order afterwards. But so now I've got a protective cap for the high roller trigger for the Sotar. I've got a protective cap, high roller trigger, and finger rest for the Badger Patriot, and they are both just all kinds of spiffy and pimped out, ready to go. So that's, and all told, all these parts cost me about $30. So it really doesn't take a lot to get your airbrush looking and working really spiffy, and feels a lot better in your hand. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey everybody, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. Thanks for watching my videos. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to support me in any way, check out my Patreon site, Facebook page, and Instagram page. And comment below on what you want to see on future videos. Thanks a lot. See you later.